everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19.
We are just a stone's throw away from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as we get set for football at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Seattle Seahawks, and he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line, and the Cleveland Browns. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. And a glance at the tall signal caller, standing 6'6".
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And not too much going there as he'll get it up to the 23-yard line. Tackled by Bradley Chubb, the number 5 pick in the 2018 draft. And the Buffet boys, the O-line. Hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
They just do get the play off as he'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Leopard! Leopard!
And they'll run it here. And an alley to run. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
No, check, Patriot!
A give to the fullback on the dive. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Let's face it, you always want a team full of guys who can get you first downs and big plays of all styles, but you've got to have a big man. You can just turn and hand it to, and he can be dependable in picking up first downs.
Now a handoff looking right. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. The give, this is their fullback. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And a look at Seattle's defense.
And middle linebacker Bobby Wagner, he's playing the absolute perfect position. He's the type of guy that you build around. The cornerstone of a defense, his ability to play the run, the pass, and his leadership skills. You get the full package with him.
They'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. He'll look to throw. Quick throw that's complete on the inside slant. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. 11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues.
I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this is started.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
No. Check. Patriot.
And now a carry here for their fullback. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
Well, he tried to bounce it outside, but that's obviously not his game. He's too much of a straight line runner.
Yeah, him in the outer third of the field, not a recipe for success. That time a loss. This now play number 9 on the opening drive, but it's third and long.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw. He may try and run for this. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
So first and 10 now from the 30. They'll drop the throw. And now he'll tuck it and run. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Watch him now, Barney.
They'll try and run with their fullback. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. This offense has converted 2 third downs on this drive already. This is 3rd and 4.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
They'll run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1.
Came up about a yard short, but I can't help it, Brandon. I love it when the big guy gets the football and he tries to battle his way forward. There's something about those guys carrying the ball and watching people trying to stop them. That's just great theater.
Leopard.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he's going to have his running back. It's complete. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
No gain on the play there. Second down. And again, they'll go right back to their fullback. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. 8 yards on the run there, and that leaves him with third and just a couple.
They definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
The Browns on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal.
Football's such a game of tendencies, down and distance, and on 3rd and inches, 3rd and 1, you'd think, man, the fullback's probably going to get the ball. But when you get to 3rd and 2, most of the time that's either the running back or a pass play. So that's a nice tendency breaker by the offensive team there. Hand it to their big guy to pick up a first down.
They'll set up the throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Seahawks have recovered. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand, but put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On second down, Wilson. And his pass incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. From the gun, it's Wilson. Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 24. And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction. Excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
The extra point up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And out now come the Seahawks. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Throwing is Wilson. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. That makes him now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. And so close to hitting pay dirt last time. Fumbling down near the goal line. Now, how does that affect their psyche this time around?
It's a tester, that's for sure, because to be that close and come away with no points is really disappointing, not just for the guys on offense.
Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he's a big factor in the run game. No gain.
So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a 1st down. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue. Took him 5 tries, but he is able to complete that first pass of the game.
And could you hear the exhale all the way up here? Not just from him, coaching staff, offensive line, receivers. Now he's off the schneid. Can they get him going in a nice groove where he becomes a little more consistent throwing the football?
Because you miss those first 2, but you get up the 0 for 4 range. That can be a little tricky, but able to settle in, hopefully.
Yeah, now you won't have any confidence issues. Now you can kind of get it back even with just 1 throw.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. From the shotgun, Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up.
And no matter how it comes about, when you get good field position, you have to make the defense pay. Short fields usually make for good offense.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. Elliott good with a PAT, and we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. I think he's still shaking his head a little. It was his fumble on the previous drive that led to the touchdown that has us tied.
And sometimes it's worse on a runner who drops it like that to watch the other team take the ball downfield and score than maybe if they just returned it right away. You know what I mean? Because sometimes what happens that fast, you're right back out on the field. Instead, he had to watch it happen. Let's see if it affects him going forward the rest of the game.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line.
All right, let's go ahead and just add it up here. Their last 3 drives, 2 fumbles and an interception. Somewhere, to paraphrase one of the great coaches of the NFL, they're asking on that sideline, what the heck is going on out there?
Seattle now ready to march onto the field. Now, these guys hardly got a chance to catch their breath after the quick turnover, but I doubt they're complaining much.
Especially with the field position they get to start with. I wouldn't be complaining either. I'd want to get right back out there and get it.
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
Holding offense.
That's a good chunk of yardage that's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. The Browns on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3.
Gone, gone! Gone, gone!
Looking to throw. Dancing, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And they'll go on the ground. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. Well, they know how to protect the pass, but sometimes cornerbacks, they can also stop the run, can't they?
Is that what we call a complete corner? Yeah, because we're so used to these guys just being defenders in the pass game. How about the guys who can come up and make the tackles? That's what we just saw there for no gain, too.
3rd and long. It's Wilson. And he's going to drop this off to Williams. Complete. He'll wind up being stopped for no gain, and it'll lead to a 4th down.
Usually the offense has an answer to anything a defense throws at them, including a safety valve. And that's what they did on that play. They went there, but the defense still made an excellent play and held them to no gain.
The Browns offense trotting back onto the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
3-19. Leopard! Leopard!
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And his throw is incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Complete to Newsom. And he's able to get up here to the 26. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. He'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
Now a late flag comes in as they got him down via the face mask, and that'll give him even better starting position.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
A lack of discipline defensively on 4th down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10. Here's Wilson. They'll roll him out right. A nice little juke. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
Holding, offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back.
Holding, offense.
That penalty against DJ Fluker, the behemoth out of Alabama. Operating from the gun, Wilson, and he checks this one down to Williams. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. A good pickup after the penalty, 12 yards, and it's 2nd down. He's got good size. We know he's tough to bring down running the ball. That also carries over to the passing game like we saw there.
And at his size, how'd you like to try and stop him on that angle route? Him coming out of the backfield, breaking sharply, catching the football. It's going to take a lot more than one guy, most likely, to bring him down. That was a nice game.
Call it a 3-yard gain, but they'll be forced into a 3rd and 15 coming up.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Throwing it on 3rd and long. Wilson. This is intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? And now the Browns coming out on the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
so well. Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down.
I know a lot of times we like to put players in certain boxes. He does this and he does that. But this guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not just a lead blocker or a guy who protects the passer. Handing the ball, he might want to get out of the way.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone, gone. Gone, gone.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Back to throw now on 1st down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
4 down, 4 down.
They're going to look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And his throw here's incomplete.
Right up to that point, I was about to say he's had a pretty good half catching the football, but let's just be honest about it. He should have caught that one.
And he knows that. That was one right in his breadbasket and one he normally catches. The Browns on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Back to throw here. Hard throw, incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down.
Well, he gets everything he could into this one. The trajectory's good. It's definitely online. It just need a little more oomph behind it, and it'll wind up falling just shy of the crossbar.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. It's the 2nd quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going. But we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series so those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. 1st down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route, it's extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. There's some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
They stay on the ground this time. It's Williams. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll be 4th down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Now Jake Elliott for the field goal try. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
And the Browns getting set to go. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Get a little closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Now they're set up nicely at the 45-yard line after the missed field goal from 55.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. The tackle is made by Micah Hyde.
Lucky 56.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. More from Cleveland after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Encroachment, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
It's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. I think that's Mack who's still down. Yeah, it is. Mack apparently shaken up there. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. He'll drop to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people have to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Going left side here, and it's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Watch it now, Barney.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. As they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. This quarterback now 12 of 17 through the air as he leads his guys up on first down. They'll set up to throw. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number one.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
They'll look to throw here. But he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. Now back to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. And his kick here is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
Williams now on the return. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And he's had his chances in this game. He just hasn't been able to find any daylight so far.
Patience, patience, patience. And that's the hard part for a runner because they expect every run to be a big one for something to pop. So they have to sometimes go through the struggles before it happens for them later in the game. But you got to give credit to the rest of the team. They've worked around the fact that he hasn't had his normal big game.
Yeah, despite his struggles, still winning here in the second quarter. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Time to give you folks at home a look around the NFL on this first official weekend of fall. So let's get to it. We'll get started up at Lucas Oil Stadium in the capital city of Indianapolis. And it's the Colts on top as that one approaches halftime. Andrew Luck has thrown a couple of touchdown passes. From there, let's get to the Meadowlands to check on the Giants at home at MetLife Stadium. And they've got the lead in their matchup with the Tampa Bay Bucks. The Giants looking to sew that one up, and they look to be in pretty good shape. Finally, let's get you to Baltimore to check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team.
And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Williams to return. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And they'll run it here. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So that one will be accepted. And on the ground they go with a running back. And an alley to run. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it a second down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Now Wilson on second down. Wide open receiver complete. And all the way down inside the 25 before he gets out of bounds. A big play that time for the Seahawks. And even 40 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And they can't bring him down. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
Let's get it.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 yards there, and it'll bring up second down.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. To throw is Wilson. Looking to throw on second down. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
The Seahawks on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be third and a mile. Now Wilson from the gun, he'll throw. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up fourth down.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
And Elliott puts this one through. And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the third quarter. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Shaquille Griffin in on the stop defensively. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Leopard!
They'll look to throw. And for throw here, that's complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. The Browns on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 4.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Detroit!
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards.
3rd and 4 is always a tough call. Maybe a little too long to run for it, but not too long to hit him on the quick slant. And that was well executed. Found the window and zipped it right in there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
And they'll go on the ground. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
He'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
You know, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and they picked up a first down for him, too.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
And they'll run it here. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead them to 4th down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
They missed a field goal earlier, so possibly as a result, that's why they're going to try to go for it here on 4th down. It's a quarterback sneak. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th.
We often hear analysts talk about a quarterback's wingspan, almost like a forward in basketball. But here's where it pays to have a long reach. They find a slight opening and are able to stick the ball forward to pick up first downs.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Set, 3-19.
Now this time he'll look to throw. Flushed out right. Able to push his way through. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
I'd love to know what he's saying in the huddle now to his guys up front, because it's been a steady stream of pressure on him this entire game. That time, able to avoid the sack, but he's got to talk to his offensive line and say, guys, just a couple seconds extra, please.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
They'll set up a throw. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Detroit! Gone, gone! Gone, gone! Gone, gone! Gone, gone! Hot!
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away.
Holding, receiving team.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Well, with a dime look on defense, 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. And he's got his man on the out route. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. And 12 yards that time and picking up the first.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Wilson now perfect since the second half started, 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's going to take this one down inside the 45.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off about the 31. And a return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line.
Well,
quarterbacks have learned the hard way. You're not going to get rich throwing against this guy. He's definitely too good. And this is now his second interception of the ball game. And if I'm running the offense, I've got to tell my guys, you've got to go work on the other corner.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
For the Browns, good starting field position as they have it 1st and 10.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And this is incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Gone! 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 Hot! Hot!
Back to throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's the Browns with a deficit. They're trailing, but with the football here to start the fourth.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39. Hot! Hot!
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. They'll get a couple yards on that one. And that'll bring up 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's taken down inside the 30. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Looking to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Gone! 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 Gone!
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Well, it's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there.
Now let's go. 319. 319. Detroit! Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll drop the throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 7 yards on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And his kick is good. And that will cut this lead back down to 4 now. It's 17-13. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, fourth quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the air.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was...
Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Elliott good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete.
Detroit! Detroit! Gone! 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 Gone!
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45.
Holding offense.
Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. He'll look to throw. Quick hitter here is complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down. In a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Lucky 56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. He has a 1st down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. In for the score. And the Browns have cut it back within a score. So they get the score, partner. Game's not over, but they still need some help here.
Agreed. They definitely need some help, but they took care of the first part by scoring themselves.
Here we go. Detroit! Detroit!
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And this is caught. They got it. And that could be an important 2 points. It gets them back within a field goal. I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. I don't want to say that they're completely against the wall here, Charles, but all of a sudden, with the run that they've been on the other sideline, this is down to a 3-point game. They got to be careful.
Not much space from their back to the wall, though. So you're exactly right. They've got to be careful here. But this is where the value of note-taking and recall comes into play. What was working earlier? Why was it working? Can you get those types of matchups again? And can you run those plays that'll get you a little bit more breathing room and a little bit of space?
That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, 1st down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46, and the return stops at the 39-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, Is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Heading out is the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They're going to look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. We've seen some big kicks in the NFL the last few years, and that one might just rank right up there.
And you know you can hear the crowd react, right? But I was focused in on the sideline and watched them absolutely erupt. I don't know how many of them thought that he was actually going to make that kick, but how about how they felt when the ball went over the post?
And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. The Seahawks were the most penalized team in the NFL last year, more than 9 a game, and now they've got 1st and 15. From the gun, it's Wilson. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Trying to power it ahead with one. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, big man with ball met bigger man on the other side of the line. A really nice play for the defense.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Browns will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football.
Without a doubt.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Complete to Newsom. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with the tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete. Well, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And after a sluggish start, he's really bounced back. The numbers bear that out.
And you're a baseball guy, partner. How many at-bats over the course of a baseball season?
Oh, boy, 4 in a game.
Yeah, about 4 in a game.
4 times 162.
350 or so, right? Sometimes it takes a while for a guy to get going. That's my point. It's not the first few carries. You don't worry about that. As they go along, get that guy lathered up, get those blocking assignments down. Those 2-yard gains turn into bigger gains as the game moves along.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a score to break this tie. On 2nd down, Wilson. And this is Gabriel on the catch. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. A couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football if hit it.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And he's able to get up here to the 26. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. Throwing now is Wilson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Wilson to throw. Looking deep for Gabriel. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Taylor Gabriel, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks are going to take the lead. Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the 4th quarter to take the lead.
There's nothing like being aggressive, preaching that to your team, and then following through. All the way through. Go ahead and throw one more up there. Why not?
Been a great game, and we are not done yet. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. They're down here in a 1-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
No. Check. Patriot. Gone.
He's back to throw. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Detroit!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's first and 10.
Gone!
They'll look to throw. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Back to throw. That's complete right around the 8. Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on first and goal.
Leopard!
He'll look to throw. Going for his running back, and he's got him complete. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal.
Patriot! Gone!
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And this is caught for a touchdown. Now hold everything here. Flag in the backfield. This one might be coming back.
Holding offense.
Late game, that hurts. Take the touchdown off the board.
No doubt about it, and this is where you make a great movie scene, right? Go in, rally the team. Okay, we lost points there. Let's get it back and go out and score again. Can he get it done?
Lucky 56! Gone!
Back to throw. And this is incomplete. So no miracles here on the final play. And this ball game is over. Well, Charles, exciting to the very end. That's what we just saw in this game. Final play there, had it in the red zone. But anytime you're outside of the 10, that's tough trying to draw up a final play to get in, and they couldn't do it.
It certainly is. So what they were looking for was, extra time. Too bad it's not FIFA soccer, right, where you get a little bit of extra and you get a chance to run a couple more plays and maybe get closer and take that last shot into the end zone.
So for the Seahawks, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Philly to take on the Eagles. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Cleveland.